Hi everyone, it's Sherry from Creative Empowerment, and I'm back. Haha, I know. I know what you're thinking. This girl has not made a video in 3 months and she just gonna pop back up on the scene. I know. I am sorry about that. But over the past 3 months, I have been just doing so much that I had to take a pause from YouTube. But I'm back. So what I'm working on right now is a series of videos that are geared towards student organization leaders. Okay, so this first video that I'm going to be making is all about utilizing the online management tool called Trello to make student organizations run more smoothly and efficiently. Okay, and so I actually have 5 areas that I think Trello could really benefit student leaders. And so I'm just going to give you an idea of how you could potentially use this tool. So, first thing that you want to do is you want to go to Trello.com and you want to sign up for a free account. Okay. Everything that I'm going to show you today was done using the free account. So you do not need to pay any money for this tool. The free account is awesome. Once you've created the free account, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to create a board, okay? You can just click Create New Board, or you can do Create a Team if you want to create a team for your student organization. Once you have created your board, I'll show you what a new board looks like. Once you've created a new board, it basically starts you off with a blank canvas, okay? And so you can use Add List to create whatever list you want. And then you can add, cards. These are called cards under your list, okay? So I'm not going to dive too deeply into the basics of Trello because there are a ton of YouTube videos out there already on that. So I definitely encourage that you check them out in terms of how to actually use Trello. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back. So you know how to create a new board now. I'm going to show you this board that I created called Student Org XYZ. So here are the 5 areas. If you look across the top, I've actually created 6 boards here, okay? But these 5 that are in view right now, these are the areas that I think would be really beneficial to your team. So the first one is an organizational task list, and this is tasks that are divided up by executive board member. The second is a programming event, and I actually created a template for the programming event that I then copied and pasted to do this. So I'll show you that in a few. And then I have a brainstorming list here. And then I have checklists. And the idea behind checklists is that, there are things within the organization that need to remain consistent and stay the same. So this could be an easy place to go for a checklist, like what are the things I need to do for this? And then meeting agendas. So those are the 5 areas that I think would be helpful, and we're going to go through each. So let's focus in on organizational task lists first. I'm gonna move over right there. All right, so with organizational task lists, the first thing that I did, you see, I added the cards, and I'm using what's called labels in order to kind of separate out the different categories, if you will. And so for president, I just threw up here, create e-board meeting agenda. Vice president, find out when council leader meetings are and add them to my agenda. And I added a task for each. It's very easy to add another task. Let's say that you're doing a community service project and you need someone to contact the agency. So you could just add a card here, contact service partner. And let's say that, the treasurer is the person that's going to do it. So you literally click on it and you just move it under the treasurer. Okay? Very simple. And there is ways to add deadlines and things to these cards. So let's look at the Create eBoard meeting agenda. Let's just click that open real quick. It's not opening. Okay, there it is. It's like, what's going on? All right, so here you can see it says create eBoard meeting agenda, but then there's a section here for description and comments. And so if you wanted to, you could actually like keep ideas in here, like in the description, like, oh, I know I want us to talk about the lollipop sale, and I need to remember to tell the group about the awards ceremony that's coming up. Okay, so like you can literally, and then click save, literally keep notes in there for yourself. Also, like let's say that you're the president and you see that the treasurer is going to contact the service partner. So you can click on that and you can say, spelling is hard, y'all. X, ask, I always get teased about that. Ask service partner about the number of volunteers they can manage. Save. So now when the treasurer goes to this, they can see here that there's a comment that they need to look at when they're doing this task, okay? And then when they've done the task, it's very easy to just archive the task and that'll take it off the list. Some people create another list that says items that are done and they'll move the items over to the card, but I'm not going to do that here today. So that is the task list idea, okay? So moving on to the event, I'm going to actually take you over here to my template. The first thing that I recommend that you do is you write down all of the different components that you need for programming. So I'm not suggesting that this is an all-inclusive list by any means. These are just a few things that pop into my head. But I do recommend as an organization, you sit down and you say, what are the things that we need to know for every program? And then use those as your categories, okay? And then as you add cards, you can just put them under the appropriate category. So these three dots here, you click on them and you can say copy list. We're copying the program template. I would recommend copying it as the name of the program. So let's say we're doing a winter formal. Create list. And you see, and it fills everything in. So now, you can just go ahead and add your cards. So the date is going to be December 6th, 2018, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. at the multipurpose room. Okay, and so now I'm going to take this card and I'm just going to pull it up under date, time, location. Boom, I'm done with that. And you can do that for each of these things. All right, so I'm going to actually scroll back over to this event that I've already created. All right, so we know it's the fall harvest event. You can choose to put all of this information into one card, or you can do multiple cards. Here, I just put down a bunch of information. We got the date, we got the time, we've got setup time, the location, and then also the rain location. And then for food, I did it a little bit differently. So what I did is, if you click on it, over here, there's an option to add a checklist. So I clicked add checklist, and then I'm literally listing the items that we're going to have here. And then as you order them, you can mark them as, done or completed. And this little symbol here is just acknowledging that there is a checklist there for you to check out. All right, then so for entertainment, we're having an acapella group, character artist, a DJ, and a hayride. Ooh, that sounds fun, right? So you'll notice that there's some notes under the acapella group here. So I click that, and I think that the description box is a really good place to put contact information for the acapella group. And of course, you can add other comments here as well, and other people on your team can add comments. Moving down, contact. So if there's any other contacts that you need, there could be a place for that. Forms. I use the checklist option again for forms. These are forms that we always have to do for events. So did we hire police? Did we request tables and chairs? Did we do the electrician? Reservation form? Did we submit the budget request form? So those are all forms. Those are standard. Marketing and promotion. I know we're going to do social media, and I know we're going to do print marketing. And I don't know what they look like yet, but I know that those are two things that need to be on here. So this is just an example of how you can potentially organize a program. Next up is brainstorming. And so, if we know we're going to do a carnival in the spring, and we know at the end of the fall semester we're going to do a recognition night, we can have these categories here, and over time, EPRO members can just add ideas under them. So when it is time to start planning that event, you already have some ideas right there. So I think brainstorming is a really cool category just to kind of dump all of those ideas out. Next up, we have here are the checklists. Moving me over. So for the checklists that you see here, I made two checklists here. A checklist for budget requests and reimbursements, and a checklist for inviting a special guest to the meeting. And these are the steps that I have outlined. A cool thing about this, so like here it says fill out the budget request form, attaching your list of costs. You could literally use the attachment here to attach a file that they can print out or download and then type into, and then they can reattach it later, whatever the case may be. So I think that's also a really cool feature. And then the same with inviting a special guest to the meeting. And I made these up. I completely made these up for the example. But again, you create whatever checklist will work best for your organization. And then the last use over here is the meeting agendas. I think you can make a card for each date, So in this instance, these are our general meetings. We're meeting every other week. The first one, or the next one's October 4th. The next one after that is October 18th. So literally, you can just use this to list. I'm using the description box to just list all of the things that are going to be occurring at this meeting. And then folks can add comments, such as, can we talk about the incident that occurred on campus on 10/1? Or, insomnia cookies. Wants to donate this meeting. So just little notes to remember as the agenda is being built, And you can literally do the whole semester. You can do the whole semester at one time if you want, and then people throughout the semester can just add where they need to. So, all right, folks. Well, I know that was kind of quick and dirty. There's a lot more that you can do with Trello. You can play around with backgrounds, and you can play around with the different labels, and you can have pictures and all kinds of stuff. But I just wanted to introduce you to some thoughts that I had for how you could use Trello to help your student organization. So once again, my name is Sherry. I am with Creative Empowerment. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to be notified when a new video is posted, click the little notification bell so that you'll be in the know. That's it for now. I'll see you next time. And I promise I will not make you wait this long ever again for a video. So I'll check you later.